Maya Brooks found a forgotten black briefcase in the back of her delivery car, and the silver initials on the handle said it belonged to the CEO upstairs. She could have ignored it, but she turned back through Chicago rain and walked into Whitmore Meridian minutes before a billion-dollar merger signing. Security tried to stop her. A lawyer tried to take it. Then a red envelope slipped from the broken lock, marked Final Merger Authority. When Caleb Whitmore opened it, his hands started shaking. The deal was not saving his company. It was selling out everyone inside it. A forgotten briefcase can be heavier than a billion-dollar lie. Maya Brooks was finishing her last lunch delivery in downtown Chicago when rain turned the streets silver and her phone warned that rent was due in 3 days. She carried paper bags up to the 62nd floor of Whitmore Meridian, where marble floors shone brighter than her headlights, and the receptionist looked at her wet jacket like it did not belong in the building. Maya still smiled, handed over the order, and hurried back to her car. Then she saw it on the rear seat, a black leather briefcase with a silver lock and the letters C and W carved into the handle. Upstairs, Caleb Whitmore was about to sign the biggest merger of his life. Maya stared at the briefcase while rain drummed on the roof of her car. The leather looked expensive enough to pay her rent twice, maybe even cover the textbooks her younger brother had been trying not to mention. For 1 second, temptation sat beside her like another passenger. Then she thought of her father, who used to say the only thing poor people could not afford to lose was their name. Maya turned the key and drove back toward Whitmore Meridian. At a red light, the briefcase shifted and the silver lock clicked loose. A red envelope slid halfway out, stamped with 4 words that made her stomach tighten. Final Merger Authority. Destroy after signing. On the 62nd floor, Caleb Whitmore stood at the head of a glass conference table while lawyers arranged signature pages like dominoes waiting to fall. Beyond the windows, Chicago disappeared behind rain. But inside the room, every light was sharp, every suit expensive, every smile rehearsed. Victor Hale sat across from him, calm and polished, tapping one finger beside the merger contract. The market closes soon, Victor said. Delay makes investors nervous. Diane Mercer, Caleb's own legal chief, nodded too quickly. Caleb looked at the Whitmore Meridian logo on the wall and told himself this deal would save the company his mother had helped build. Still, something felt wrong. His briefcase was missing, and so was the last version of the agreement. Maya reached the lobby with the briefcase pressed against her soaked jacket, but the security guard stepped in front of the elevators before she could speak. Deliveries go out through the side entrance, he said. Maya swallowed her frustration. This belongs to someone upstairs. The initials are C and W. The guard glanced at the leather handle, then at her rain-streaked delivery bag, and did not move. A woman in a gray suit turned from the reception desk. Diane Mercer's eyes landed on the briefcase, and her expression changed too fast to hide. I will take that, she said, holding out her hand. Maya tightened her grip. I need proof it belongs to you. Diane smiled, but the lobby suddenly felt colder. Diane's smile sharpened when Maya did not hand it over. You realize you are holding executive property during a private corporate transaction, she said. The guard shifted closer, and the receptionist suddenly found a reason to stop typing. Maya felt her delivery app buzzing with late order warnings, each vibration threatening the income she needed. Then call Mr. Whitmore, she said. I will give it to him myself. Diane's voice dropped. Or I can report that a driver removed confidential documents from this building. The elevator doors opened behind her before Maya could answer. Caleb Whitmore stepped out, tie loosened, eyes tired, searching for the one thing everyone claimed was missing. Then he saw Maya holding the black briefcase. Caleb looked from Maya's soaked jacket to the silver initials on the handle. Where did you find that? He asked. Back seat of my car, Maya said. I came straight back. Diane moved quickly. We should take this upstairs and handle it internally. Caleb's eyes narrowed. No, we handle it here. In a private waiting room off the lobby. He opened the briefcase while Maya stood near the door, ready to leave, but unable to ignore the red envelope half hidden inside. Caleb pulled out the merger file, then a small USB drive, then a second document he had never seen. Across the top were the words post-merger asset reduction. As he read the first page, his hand stopped moving. Caleb read the document once, then again, as if the words might change out of mercy. 3 logistics centers would close within 90 days. Thousands of employees would be transitioned out. The scholarship fund named after his mother would be liquidated and sold as a marketing asset. His hand began to tremble. Then he saw Diane Mercer's electronic approval at the bottom of the hidden appendix. Maya watched his face drain of every boardroom expression. The envelope slipped out at a red light, she said quietly. I did not open it. I figured returning it was the only clean way to do this. Caleb looked at her, then at Diane through the glass wall. Clean, he whispered. That is what this deal never was. Before Caleb could speak again, the waiting room door opened and Victor Hale walked in with a smile too polished for bad news. Diane followed behind him, her confidence returning when she saw Victor take control of the room. Caleb, hidden appendix sounds dramatic, Victor said, glancing at the papers. It is standard financial language. Then his eyes shifted to Maya. And since when does a delivery driver interpret merger documents? Maya felt the old sting of being dismissed before she was heard, but she did not lower her eyes. I know this, she said. When people hide papers behind a silver lock and tell others to destroy them after signing, they are not planning to be honest. Caleb closed the file slowly. Diane moved before Victor could lose the room. She guided Maya into the hallway with a hand that never quite touched her, all polished nails and controlled breath. You have done enough, Diane said, opening a tablet to a transfer screen. Sign one statement saying the briefcase was already open when you found it, and this money reaches your account tonight. Maya looked at the amount and felt her knees weaken. It could cover rent, her brother's tuition deposit, even the old car that coughed at every stoplight. Then she remembered her father coming home with a cardboard box after his warehouse closed without warning. Maya pushed the tablet back. I will not become the lie that takes someone else's job. When Maya stepped back into the waiting room, Caleb already knew the answer from her face. Victor was still explaining market pressure, and Diane was still pretending nothing had happened. But Caleb lifted the black briefcase and walked toward the conference room. She comes with me, he said when Victor objected. Maya followed, rainwater still darkening her jacket, while every lawyer at the glass table turned to stare. Caleb placed the briefcase in the center, opened the red envelope, and connected the USB drive to the screen. The hidden plan appeared behind him in bright white letters. Logistics centers to close. Scholarship fund to liquidate. Internal approval, Diane Mercer. The room went silent enough to hear Maya breathing. Victor recovered first, forcing a smooth laugh that fooled no one. Caleb, walk away now and your stock drops before dinner. Investors will sue. The press will call you unstable. Diane stared at the screen as if her own name had betrayed her. Caleb looked at the contract waiting on the table, then at Maya near the door, still holding herself like someone prepared to be dismissed. She had no shares, no title, no seat at the table, yet she had protected his people better than anyone paid to advise him. Caleb picked up the signing pen. Victor smiled, thinking victory had returned. Instead, Caleb wrote across the first page in thick black ink, merger canceled. Effective immediately, the words spread through Whitmore Meridian faster than the rain running down the windows. Phones lit up in the conference room, assistants gathered outside the glass walls, and somewhere below, warehouse managers began receiving calls that the centers would stay open. Diane was placed on immediate leave while an independent review began, and Victor walked out with no applause, no cameras, and no signature. Caleb faced the internal press crew with the red envelope in one hand and the black briefcase beside him. This company was saved today, he said, because a delivery driver returned what did not belong to her. Maya looked down, overwhelmed, but through the glass, she saw employees clapping from the hallway. Months later, Maya no longer measured her days by late-order warnings and empty gas tanks. Caleb created the Whitmore Brooks Community Logistics Program in his mother's name and asked Maya to lead it, not because she needed charity, but because she understood the workers the board had almost turned into numbers. Her brother received a full scholarship, the 3 centers stayed open, and the red envelope was framed in the new training hall as proof that truth could arrive in a delivery car. On opening day, Caleb handed Maya the black briefcase, now empty except for one note. It read, "Integrity saved more than a merger." Maya looked at him and smiled, knowing the smallest right choice had changed every floor above her.